Well, hello, boys and girls. It's Jim, LakeZide Performance, and we are working on door panels. That's what we're working on. I've gotten 2 of them completed, and I have 2 more to complete. So the driver's side panels are done, but this is the passenger front door panel, and then I have the rear passenger side panel right here. This one's mostly put back together, and what I'm using is a high heat gun with high heat glue sticks, because let me show you what these look like typically on a 23-year-old Mercedes. These are, I know a lot of the reviews, this is kind of crazy, but all of the reviews on these M classes built in Alabama in the US, everybody complains about how much plastic or how plasticky these feel. But let me show you something. You'll be surprised and you'll be happy to know that this thing actually is a lot more comfortable than you think it is. So let me flip this door panel over, if I can, without dropping anything. Have not cleaned this one yet. You can tell it's pretty dirty there. But this is what you look at. This is what they look like after a lot of abuse and grime and temperature changes back and forth every season and 23 years of wear and tear. What happens is this glue starts breaking down, all this brown glue stuff, and you know, this whole center section right here, you can tell where it's glued there, big blob of glue, and these are the little snap little brackets that hold it onto the door itself, plus your little door pocket right here, speaker grill. Those are actually melted on. They melted the plastic to attach these, so those don't come off. The insulation sticks pretty good, but you can tell that's kind of like a clear, kind of a rubberized adhesive there. But all of this stuff here, it just flakes off. You can see there, it is just so brittle that I can just break it off with my fingernail. That's how brittle this stuff gets. So, and then on top of that, I just went to the junkyard today because I was missing 3 brackets, but this bracket and the one on the left side are almost identical. I think they are pretty much identical, but here's how you know where those go. So when they fall out, they actually have a location on them of where they go. The black ones may be easier to see. So the black ones are for the front door panels, if you didn't know, and the white ones are for the rear door panels. And if you look here, you'll have some stuff written on this. So right here, you'll see that there is a number on here that says 97005. And then over here, you'll see that this one is a R for right side, which is your passenger side. And then you'll see a number 9 with a line under it. That's so they put the line under it so you don't get mixed up. So like you might think, you know, if you looked at it this way, you might think that's number 6. And that's incorrect. You always go by the line on the bottom, which is this one is number 9. And so, if you look at these door panels, so this one didn't fall off. This one right here is R right side number 10. Okay, so I know that this one is right side number 9. So you can tell it fits perfectly right here in that little spot. So that's where that gets glued in. Okay, so then we look at this one, and this one is, the R is below the number. This one's right side 16. So we got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 is right there. So that's number 16. That's bracket number 16. So I gotta glue that one there, and then we'll have one more on this door panel. And this one is number 15. So I have to glue that one in there. Now, I've got to glue back in every one of these, even though this one's still attached, as you can see here. Watch. Yeah, it's that easy. So just the pressure of me putting this door panel back on the actual door would probably snap this right off of there. Right off. So I have to take like a little pick tool, get in here, get this glob of glue off of here, okay? And then glue these back on. So that's what's gonna happen for every one of these. I'm gonna pull them off all the way around, and then I'm gonna glue them back in, which I have done with this one. So I've taken this one completely apart. This door panel was taken completely apart. All of these little brackets were taken off. And with the help of these brackets right here, these are the only thing I could find that could really get it back to where it needs to go. This is a 2-inch spring clamp. I think I bought these at Home Depot. Yep. They're just a couple dollars a piece. I bought 5 of them. That seems to do the trick. I could probably have gone with like 7. Would have probably been a little bit better of a number, but I bought 5 that day just to try to see if it was what I needed to get this job done, and I got almost 3 door panels done. So over here on the table, I went to the junkyard today, and I went ahead and picked these up. These door lights that go on the bottom of the doors. Picked up a new set from a 2005. A couple of mine are kind of like burnt from the bulb getting really hot in here, and so I felt like I'm just going to pick those up. They don't charge me for little stuff like this right here. The only thing out of all of this crap right here that I got, the only thing they're charging me for were these. And this was from a 2005. And if you look here, these are leather wrap. Look, there's a stitch right down the back of it. It's pretty sweet. I think these will clean up really nice, and they're all black, and they're like wrapped in like a vinyl material. So I thought these were pretty freaking sweet, and none of the screw holes are busted. You know, most of those they bust. Even on like I think a 2002 model I was looking at, and they busted. They were busted. So I think the set I got on there now, I think, are 2002. So I picked up as many brackets as I could, and I found the correct brackets that I needed. I actually found all 3 of them, but I was trying to pry on this one a little bit, and that glue, that hot glue that I used, that high heat hot glue, is so good that I can't get this off without tearing the cardboard, this material, whatever this is. I'm not sure what, some kind of cardboard material. But this right here is a little deformed. It was deformed. I don't know why. The vehicle, all of these door panels were loose, and I want to say maybe this bracket or another something was like stuck right here and pushing this down, and while it dried. And so now basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the bottom of it and let it cool thoroughly. And then what I'll do is put a bunch of glue right in between here and here, and then I'll take one of those handy 2-inch clamps, and I'll clamp this I'll clamp this to this so it can draw it in and glue those two together back straight again. I even glued these in so they wouldn't fall out. But this one's done, that one's done, and this is the other one that I needed. I don't know where the brackets went. They weren't not in the door panels, but also when I was taking the door panels off of the one in the junkyard, some of those brackets were missing on some of those doors. I don't know where they go. I guess people would just eat them or something. They get real hungry, and got your kids in the back seat and they get hungry and they just start snacking on brackets. I'm not sure. So they just kind of go missing. The other thing that kind of breaks is this screw hole right here, and you can see that's way bigger than it should be, and not really a whole lot I can do about that. Throw a big washer in there before I put the screw in. That's about all I've been doing. So anyways, yeah, you can see this one too, kind of busted. But anyways, everybody in online that does these crazy reviews about these M classes are talking about how plasticky they are. Well, let me educate you. Every one of these is wrapped. Look, that's fabric. okay, because it's not plastic at all. These door panels are not plastic. The only thing plastic is the back side of this piece where the fabric is attached to for the airbag surround. So that part is plastic. This piece is some kind of a plastic, but I'm not sure. But it, you know, you got to have some structure in the door, a little bit of structure. And then this piece is plastic. But look, the shell of the door panel itself. Look, it's, see how loud that plastic is right there? That is way two different kinds of sounds. This is way quieter of a material. That's why Mercedes chooses that material, I think, is because of the noise suppression for that material. But everybody talks about how plasticky they are, these M classes, and even in '98 they were all wrapped in some kind of vinyl or leather or whatever. Everything is wrapped in some kind of material. They may feel plasticky, but sorry to say, they are not plastic at all. Even the dash assembly, the covers, the dash covers, the upper cover and the lower covers are wrapped in material. They are definitely not a plastic material that you're touching. Now the frames of them are, but there's a steel structure inside on the main layer that attaches to the vehicle is steel, but the covers, the top cover and the bottom cover, are all fabric wrapped. Well, I say that. I know the upper section is, the upper cover, the lower section may be plastic. But also the center console. The center console top cover is wrapped in a vinyl material, and then the bottom section is plastic, which is crazy. So yeah, this is the back side of this Mercedes door panel. Basically what I got to do is get this whole thing taken apart. I got to separate this plastic, the rest of this, take this insulation piece off right here because I don't want anything to smell funny. So all this kind of material is coming out. I'm not putting anything back in its place. Seems to be perfectly fine for the driver's side. I kind of banged on it and I can't really tell the difference with or without this material. This kind of recycled fiber kind of insulation. Obviously I could go back and put some in it later on if I felt like it, but right now it's not getting it back. I got to get all the brackets apart. I got to get this separated because this thing right here likes to, brackets on this kind of like to break off too. And so then this thing here is kind of crazy, but the only thing holding this thing on right now is these little plastic melted little rivet things right here. There's 4 of them. So I have to drill these 4 out, and as soon as I drill those 4 out, this thing comes right off, and then I glue it back in just like I did over here. So I just glue this thing back in here so it can't come loose again. And that's probably a permanent fix for this. That probably never ever come back apart. So I've heated up my heat gun over there, so I'm gonna go ahead and attach these last 2 brackets on this rear passenger side door panel, and then we'll get it installed, and then we'll start working on this one. Because if you look, we'll flip it over here, remove these loose brackets. I have re-wrapped it in new material, and it looks awesome. It turned out amazing. I mean, this looks really good. And then you couple that with the new door handles here, and that's what you get. So that's what they look like. These turned out really nice for their original. These are original. These are their original year 2000 door panels for my M class, for my Lost World M class, and they look really good. The only thing I retained, obviously this is all original color, you know, all of this. But I also retained the wood grain surrounds for the door handles here. I just cleaned them up really nice and wiped them up really good. And you can tell, you know, these are the back doors, so they get very little wear. And I mean, just looks brand new. I haven't even cleaned this thing up yet. I just picked them up earlier, and even with that, they look excellent. So yeah, looks really good. This is like a suede material, so you can see it when you rub your finger on it, or your hand on it, it changes color, you know, based on the last person that touched it, right? And then the factory fabric is this cloth, this cloth material with a stitch in the middle there. That's what it looks like. And you know, you can see how dirty and, you know, dingy this whole thing is. Get that little sticker there for airbag stuff. And yeah, this definitely needs a good cleaning, which it will receive prior to reassembly. But yeah, let's get this door panel done, get it reinstalled, and then we'll start working on this one. Don't smell moldy, so there's that. There's something positive, but that little bit, it gets kind of hot. So basically what we're doing, we're just separating this off of here because it's got fabric on it and a little bit of foam on the back side, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that. But you can see where they sprayed the glue and then put the fabric. It's just contact cement, just like everything else upholstery. It's just contact cement from the factory. Nothing spectacular or crazy, but that's what it looks like without it. Right there. So you can see here now. So this is kind of like what you see on these M classes. That's kind of like what it looks like, but that right there is what it looks like factory. So this right here has never been touched by our greasy hands, greasy arms and stuff. So that's that. But you can tell all this shiny stuff is just oils and stuff from your hands and arms and spit and drinks and everything else you get on your hands, the arms and everything, and it leaves a shiny finish on all this vinyl and leather materials. And you have to clean it really good if you want to get rid of the last 23 years of somebody else's gunk. You got to clean this real good. So you got to degrease this and whatever you want to do. I mean, I've used scrubbing bubbles, you know, bathroom cleaner. I've used Lysol, especially if there's any mold or anything, you know, you want to get some kind of chlorine or something on it. It won't bleach this out. I've tried, and you know, this entire interior got sprayed down with bleach and a mixture of like 2-to-1 bleach water mixture, very strong. This whole interior, because it was so moldy, it came out of the woods, and it didn't discolor anything but the carpet. You know, and I ditched the carpet a long time ago. You know, a long time ago. back here, we got our heat gun right here. We got our clamps right here. We got some glue sticks. Got a plate to catch all the residue over here to make a little bit more room. We're gonna stick that right there. Okay. So now we got everything. Okay, here's the door panel insert. Door panel's behind me on the hood over here. Here's the door pocket. We gotta install the door pocket in there. We got the insert that we just got through wrapping with brand new suede. We got all of our brackets over here. We've got our door handle right here, and our plate. Look how nice this turned out. Just a simple little wash with Dawn and hot water, and it turned out amazing. It is so freaking shiny now. Looks brand new. Even the backside looks brand new. Nothing's broken. I'm surprised these right here don't break when you jerk them off of there, because it's only these three little prongs holds it on. They don't break. I don't know how, but they don't break. I mean, that thing is squeaky freaking clean. It's really freaking good. So then we stick this right there. I mean, that looks freaking awesome. It's not clipped in all the way, but you get the idea. I mean, that looks really, really nice. Dawn and hot water, man, does the freaking trick. That is freaking fantastic right there. Okay, so now the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put the suede insert back right here. Okay, so we're going to glue that back in first. And the way I do that is I take some Super 90 high strength, and I'm just going to put a little bit in the middle here and a little bit on that side, and that way I've got something to hold it on here while I glue it on. Okay, because you can't put a whole bunch of hot glue right here and then put this on this and then expect it to stick. It's not gonna go down like that. So you gotta be real careful with this stuff here. I'll spray a little glue on this real quick over here out of harm's way. Four of these clips, it clips on right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 are now broken. The only thing that will hold this on now is to glue it on, because of these 4 clips break. I mean, 23 years old, you know, things just get brittle. So that's the way it is. Now I have my drain hole in the bottom, which works really well when I wash this. So we can test fit this. You know, if we were to leave it, like, you know, kind of like that, it would be really noisy, squeaky. But we're not going to let it do that. We're actually going to glue it back on here, and you will never know that it's glued on because you can't see it. What we're going to do is we're going to take and put some glue right here in these tracks. Well, our door panels are ready to go on now. So we got them all prepped and ready to rock and roll. And let's get it done. So let's do the front one first, and then we'll move on to the back one and see how it goes. Should be pretty straightforward.